Joining me now is Florida Congresswoman Paulina Luna, who is on the House Oversight Committee. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us here today. Do you share the chairman's opinion that Dr. Fauci committed perjury and that the DOJ under Pam Bondi should be looking at perjury charges for Anthony Fauci?
Most certainly will, and I would actually go a step further and argue that the former Attorney General Merrick Garland actually knowingly covered up Biden's current health, and there is an issue with the fact of whether or not Joe Biden was actually cognitively aware that he was signing pardons. And remember, President Trump referenced the auto pen investigation. I would highly encourage everyone to look at the long-term effects of some of these COVID vaccines, and really, politics aside, the American people need to be very concerned, especially for young men that took the vaccination, with what Dr. Fauci, and I would even call him a doctor, he was experimenting on Americans, he was experimenting on our military, and he needs to be held to the full extent of the law.
And that's what I want to lean in on for a moment, Congresswoman, because I think at this point everybody watching knows that Dr. Fauci lied. At a minimum, he played semantics over the definition of gain of function, but that it amounted to a lie. Let's set aside the pardon for just one moment. I don't know if the pardon covers any potential accountability for perjury, but would you like to see, and I think everyone watching finally wants to hear about some form of accountability, would you like to see something done here by Attorney General Pam Bondi?
Yes, and what I will tell you is to give assurance, because I know people are tired of members of Congress sending strongly worded letters. I'm also very tired of that. I want to see action. I will look at doing a criminal referral for those statements. I will go on record for that, and I will do it as soon as I get back to my office. But what I also want to say is the Attorney General has the ability to put some teeth behind what we are trying to do in Congress. Remember, Congress is not a punitive arm, although we reserve the right for inherent contempt. Having the Department of Justice for referrals, they need to really follow up. As you know, I also referred some of these sanctuary city mayors. So I do believe what he did was wrong. I do believe that he needs to be brought to justice, and I will happily authorize a criminal referral. And I will also be asking Chairman Comer to help authorize that as well.
Let's stay on this note with the DOJ for just one moment, because you've been on this quite a bit, Congresswoman. You have talked about all the files that have been promised, including the Epstein files, and whether or not we're ever going to fully see everything that we're supposed to see and what's been promised about Jeffrey Epstein. Pam Bondi was asked about that today. She said that the FBI is reviewing tons of videos that involve potential children that implicate Jeffrey Epstein. You in the past have said you have not delivered on this promise to reveal to the public everything about Jeffrey Epstein. Where do you stand today on what the DOJ has done regarding Epstein?
I stand by my comments. I can tell you that I'm not the only member of Congress who's publicly questioned what the DOJ is doing. And I understand, look, Pam Bondi is a Republican and she works for the president, and I respect her for that. However, I do not work for the White House, and I do not work for the Attorney General's office or the Department of Justice. We are a co-equal branch of government. And when you say you are going to deliver these files on a terrible predators that are still walking free, and yet there's been evidence that hasn't been shared with the American people, the least that you can do is pick up the phone and update Congress. Either which way, though, I am hopeful because of her comments this morning in regards to the press conference, and I am hoping that we will see justice delivered. If indeed, which I do believe, there are exhibits of child pornography, those people belong in jail. And as you know, I'm also currently trying to increase the mandatory minimums for child predators. In my opinion, as a new mom, I think I share the same sentiment as many other Americans. Only a couple years and a slap on the wrist for exploiting a child and destroying a life is not justice. We need to bring justice for these victims.
But I hear hope from you today. In the past, I've heard frustration. Today, I hear some hope from you that we might actually get the truth about Jeffrey Epstein.
I think we might. But again, I'm cautiously optimistic because, as you know, in Washington, hope can be a dangerous thing.
All right. Congresswoman Paulina Luna, thanks for being with us here today. I know you just had a meeting today at the White House and you made time for us afterwards, so we appreciate you jumping on the Will Cain Show.
God bless.
Thank you.